Here is how you can create manga style like this in Blender. So let's start. Open any Blender file. If you want to use this one, I have added the link in description. Let's go into the rendered view mode and make sure the render engine is set to EV. Press Shift A and start by adding in a simple sunlight. Let's increase the strength from 1 to something like 3. And now you can just press R, then X, rotate it around a bit to get a nice angle. Let's split up our view to open up a shader editor. Select any object and click on New. Rename this material to, let's say, manga style. And now it's pretty simple. Press Shift A, add a shader to RGB node and plug it in between over here. Again, press Shift A, search for a color ramp node and plug it in over here. Set this to constant. Now you can play around with the values, but first we need to add this material to all of the objects. Right now it is just on the stairs. So while the stairs are selected, press A to select everything, press Ctrl L and link materials. Now you can see all of them have the same material. Now you just need to adjust this slider to get the proper effect. You can select like this black slider and maybe make it a bit lighter. You can click on this plus icon to add one another slider in between and give it a different shade of black, maybe a bit more lighter, just to create like some kind of differentiation. Now you can once again select your sunlight and just move it around to experiment with this and get the perfect look. I think something like this looks pretty good. And now to get the proper look, press Shift A, go into Grease Pencil and select Scene Line Art. As soon as you do that, we will see that line art will appear. Now just select it and make sure to go into your modifier section and increase the line radius to something like 0.035 to make it pretty thick, something like this. Come into the edge types and disable crease threshold. This will remove like all of these extra outlines and just give you over the necessary areas. Press F12 and we have basically created manga style in Blender. And yeah, now it looks pretty good. A couple of things that you can do to make it look better is go into your render properties and change the color management from AGX to standard. Also make sure to select the line art modifier over here and just turn it off in viewport so that it does not get laggy. Just turn it off. You can also select your sun and just press Shift plus D to duplicate it. And now you can just, rotate it around to get a little bit less shadows, because with one sun we do get like a lot of shadows. And now I think this looks a little bit better. Press F12. We can press J to switch between the render slots. Press F12 once again. And yeah, this is our new render and I think it looks pretty good. One thing that you can do is, as you can see, like this object right over here looks pretty like flat now. You can just select this object specifically and click on here to create a new material out of it and just adjust the sliders so that you get a little bit better shading over here. And yeah, now as you can see, it looks a little bit less flat. You can also select your sun number 2 and just rotate it around a bit to get a bit better shading on other areas as well. I will also select this particular object and just turn off the shadows for it over here. And yeah, again press F12 and with that we are basically done with this. We have created nice manga type shading style in Blender. You can also just press Shift A, add a simple plane, increase the scale of it, press R then X, type in 90 and just give it a white flat background so that now we have something like this. And with that we are basically done. But if you want to experiment or make it a little bit better, what you can do is you can select your line art modifier, maybe just turn it back on so that we can actually see it, add a new modifier and search for noise. And basically this will help you to randomize the strokes a little bit, because obviously in original mangas there wouldn't be like perfect strokes because they are hand drawn, and now as you can see they have a little bit of variation to them, but that's a bit too much I think. So you can set the position to something like 0.05. We can also adjust the things like the strength to something like zero point 0.5. It will change the strength of the stroke, and this can change the thickness of the stroke as you can see over here. So this will give it like different weights and different like variations within the stroke. If you press F11 now, let's press J and again press F12 so that we can actually compare between the renders. Now press J and basically this one has like uniform strokes all along while this one has like a lot of variation. So yeah, you can play around with these modifiers You can also play around with the colors of the shaders. Like, let's say you can select this and change the color of the shadows itself like this, give it like a totally different kind of vibe. You can also change the color of this as well. You can even add like multiple sliders in between to like create different kinds of colors. And yeah, these are some of the ways that you can experiment with this shader and this look. And yeah, this is all that I wanted to share in this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Thank you.